Hello everyone, I'm Guardiangamer, and welcome back to another episode of Inside Tamriel. Let's get to the news. ZeniMax released Update 2 for the Mega Servers this week, bringing additional content to the game, along with a number of fixes regarding gameplay in Alliance War and adjustment to classes. Some of this new content includes the veteran Crypt of Hearts dungeon, improved lighting, and the ability to pick up low-value armor and weapons that are lying around the world. One thing I would like to add is that a major bug/exploit did appear in Alliance War after the update went live. Daggerfall players were able to teleport inside the Ebonheart Pact base camp, where they were not supposed to be able to get into. They were able to place down forward camps and spawn kill Ebonheart players. Hopefully ZeniMax knows of this issue by now and will be resolving it shortly. If you want the full patch notes, be sure to check the link below. GamingBolt.com posted an article where they were able to get an interview with the Elder Scrolls Online's creative director Paul Sage about a number of things coming to ESO in the future, like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the games, and other things coming to ESO. A couple of things I pulled from the article is that while they do not have a set release date for ESO on consoles, early tests look like performance will not drop too much between the two systems. ESO seems very friendly with older and lower grade PCs, so it shouldn't run with that much difficulty on consoles. There is also talk in this article about new content coming soon. The veteran dungeon called the City of Ash, and the unlocking of a new region in Craglorn. One of the more exciting things coming to ESO in the future, and also one of the most ambitious, is the justice system, where players will be able to steal from or murder NPCs, and then have city guards come and try to arrest them. From the interview, there is a talk that this stealing mechanic would not only be for NPCs, but for players too. This would mean that there will also have to be some sort of PvP added to the world outside of Cyrodiil. In this quote from Paul Sage, he said, "We're looking at adding in the justice system, which is where players can steal from NPCs and the NPCs will react to that. I can kill NPCs and the NPCs will react to that. The coolest thing I think about the system is that because it's online, we can allow players not just to steal and kill, but they can also become guards and act in justice. So, you'll have a little bit of PvP in the real world in the justice system." If ZeniMax can pull this idea off, there will be a lot more for players to spend their time doing. You could be adventuring through the wilderness and find yourself surrounded by a bunch of bandits, only to be saved by some guards. All the while, these characters are real-life players, and none of it was ever scripted. Overall, there's still much more to know about the justice system, and we'll just have to wait and see what ZeniMax will release next. There's not much else from ZeniMax in terms of news, so let's see what's happening in the community. From Shoddycast comes the latest part in their Elder Scrolls lore series. This one talks about the Daedric prince Mephala, one of the 3 good Daedric princes, and also known as the Spider God. From the Tamriel Journal comes a guide to the crafted item sets in ESO. As you may have seen in the game, item sets provide helpful bonuses when you wear multiple pieces of a set. They're not just found in drops, but can be crafted in certain areas in a region. This guide should help you get an idea for an item set that you might want to go after. Lastly, TheHumanFloyd released a new part in his Roleplaying Beginner's Guide. This series has been a tutorial for those who are new to roleplaying or want to learn some extra tips. In this episode, there is talk about how you can find other roleplayers in the Elder Scrolls community. This is a few things that are going on in the community, but as always, if you want to see more, check out any of the fan sites dedicated to Elder Scrolls Online, and also check out the latest edition of the Tamriel Chronicles. With the community stuff out of the way, let's see what happened in the last week of the first campaign for Wabbajack server, starting Thursday, April 19th, 2014. Thursday night saw the Almeri Dominion capture the fort of Bleaker from the Ebonheart Pact, while the Pact captured the fort of Dragonclaw and controlled one of the Dominion and Covenant scrolls. The Daggerfall Covenant was able to expand their control over the western side of Cyrodiil and took the forts of Brindle, Robeck, Nikkel, and Ash. By Friday, the Dominion was able to capture the forts of Dragonclaw from the Ebonheart Pact, while the Covenant maintained control over their keeps and retook one of their stolen Elder Scrolls. On Saturday, the Covenant was able to push eastward and take the forts of Bleaker and Chalman, while the Ebonheart Pact and Almeri Dominion fought over the fort of Alessia. The Ebonheart Pact was able to take a lot of ground on the south side of Cyrodiil, but by Sunday afternoon only controlled the Dominion keep of Fergal. The Pact was also able to retake the fort of Dragonclaw from the Covenant, while the Dominion took the fort of Robeck and Brindle. Sunday night saw the Covenant retake their lost fort, while the Ebonheart Pact was pushed out of Dominion territory. Monday saw the Ebonheart Pact head across Cyrodiil and capture many of the Covenant keeps, and also take both of their Elder Scrolls. By Tuesday morning, the Covenant staged a counterattack to try and reclaim their scrolls. Wednesday saw the Covenant recover their Elder Scrolls, but lose the forts of Chalman and Blue Road to the Ebonheart Pact, while the Dominion took over the forts of Alessia and Robeck. With the release of Update 2, some Daggerfall players were able to use an exploit to teleport inside the bases of the Ebonheart Pact and place down forward camps. Daggerfall players that used these were able to spawn kill any Ebonheart players that arrived at the base. By Wednesday night, Daggerfall controlled most of the western side of Cyrodiil, while the Ebonheart controlled the east side. Thursday saw the campaign come to its conclusion, with the Ebonheart Pact trying to claim emperorship for their side in the campaign's final hours. Daggerfall soldiers made a comeback and was able to take many of the enemy's keeps. At around 7 PM Central Standard Time, the first campaign of Wabbajack ended with the Ebonheart Pact victorious, and the Daggerfall Covenant behind them 10,000 points. This campaign was long and very bloody, with fierce competition between the Daggerfall Covenant and Ebonheart Pact. The Covenant was able to catch up quickly to the Pact near the end, but did not have enough time to close the gap any further. This campaign lasted for 90 days. There are heroes and villains, great victories and utter defeats, and each side had its champions. No matter the outcome, each side had the greatest and worst players come to light. As a Daggerfall player myself, my only regret is that we didn't win. Well, that and the end of the campaign reward. But now, the servers have been reset, the leaderboards have been wiped, and a new campaign in the Wabbajack server begins. How will it go? Who will be victorious? Who will rise up to be the champions of their faction? We will have to see. Alright everyone, I'm done with my rant, and that's the end of our show. If you want to know more about anything talked about today, be sure to check the links below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes in the future. I'm Guardiangamer. Good night.